Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today for my thoughts and kind of a mini review, I guess, on seasons 1 to 3 of the anthology series Black Mirror. Anybody who's watched any of my videos probably knows that I really love anthology shows a lot. And I heard about this one and that there were 2 seasons of it. But since there was a season 3 on the way, I figured I'd wait and just watch all 3 seasons because I had never seen any of the episodes, but it sounded interesting. So now that all 3 seasons are out, I decided I would share my thoughts as I have now seen all the episodes. And just a heads up, I will not be reviewing each individual episode, but if anybody wants to know my ratings for each episode, I will put them in the description box below. So that will be there for anyone who wants a breakdown of my individual ratings from my normal 1 to 5 scale. This show kind of is, I've heard it compared to a modern day Twilight Zone. I don't know that I totally agree. There are some comparisons. The show is very science fiction heavy, although there are a variety of topics, like in most anthology shows, like science fiction, drama, war, even some detective procedural type stuff. So a good variety, although I will say not a lot of comedy, a little bit of comedy in some episodes, but the show is definitely of a more serious tone overall, in my opinion. And I will just mention that my favorite episode was San Junipero. I actually think it's one of the best hours of television I've seen in the last couple years, and I really do mean that as a high compliment. I gave it a 5-star rating, and I don't usually give out a lot of fives. I do here and there, and I really felt this episode deserved it. This episode really affected me to the point where I'm actually still thinking about it today, and I am definitely planning on rewatching it. Other episodes I highly recommend are The Entire History of You, White Christmas, and Hated in the Nation, which I thought were all amazing. Like all anthology shows, everybody always seems to have an episode they didn't like, and for me it was White Bear. This is the only episode I just can't recommend, unless you're just going to watch them all anyway, but I definitely would pick out White Bear as the weakest. It just had a very flawed narrative for me. I didn't really care what was happening to the characters in this episode, and it kind of had an unsatisfying twist, in my opinion, as well. I'll leave it at that. Also, another notable thing is that the length varies greatly. Some of the episodes are around 45 minutes, but some run all the way to an hour and a half, kind of like a feature-length film. But you don't really have to watch them in any specific order. So if you have more time one day, you can watch one of the longer ones. They're all pretty much self-contained, so the order doesn't really matter. I did watch them in the episode order presented, however. So overall, I would say this is an intelligent, thought-provoking show. It's also well acted. I would say all the acting is pretty solid with only a few exceptions, and some of it is really good in spots. The show's very intelligent and thought-provoking. I would say, though, just like Twilight Zone, a show that I really respect for how well it's held up, but I've always said it was a little preachy at times, and I think Black Mirror falls into that as well. While I think a lot of the concepts are interesting, occasionally I feel that things are over-explained and they kind of hit you over the head a little more than they need to be, maybe a little padded at times. But overall, I don't think it's a big issue with most of the episodes, as reflected by my point ratings for each episode. So overall, I did think that the stories were intelligent and thought-provoking, and I do recommend Black Mirror for fans of science fiction or just anthology shows. I feel like we need more anthology shows, and I'm hoping that a show like Black Mirror gives us more because I've really missed not having a lot of them around, and I know there's a variety of reasons for that. I've heard one big reason is that people enjoy and get used to certain characters, and obviously they want to see them every week, and in an anthology show, you don't generally get that because you get a new story and new characters every week. But I personally like the variety of characters you get every week. There's a lot of shows with a more standard story and format, and season-long arcs are great. But I've always really enjoyed the variety of an anthology series as well, and I do think Black Mirror is pretty much top-notch, and I recommend it. So that's pretty much my thoughts on Black Mirror. If you would like in the comments, you can give me your thoughts, whether you agree with me or not, and even maybe some of your favorite and least favorite episodes if you have watched the series. So that's it, and thank you very much for watching.